up. Hurry up offense.
We are back, man. As you can tell, my voice is gone. Definitely not the game we wanted tonight, man.
It wasn't, kind of from the start, East Union kind of set the tone and said, we're going to run the ball and kind of, force you to like it, because they were letting the play clock drain down, kind of getting themselves in situations where they didn't have to force the ball downfield. They're in second and short, third and very short, or converting. And then on offense, I thought we'd do some good things and then we'd make mistakes. So it just didn't work out.
And this is what I got before we go to Tyler. This is what I got to get used to, is being able to do a show when you are emotionally drained and disappointed, because now I see how it feels to be on this end to try to, cover a game after a game and still have the energy to put in it. But Tyler, what was your immediate reaction?
Well, I thought we got beat a lot on first down, offensively and defensively. Just defensively, you had a lot of second shorts. You allowing 8 or 9 yards on first down. And offensively, you're getting backed up, whether it's holding calls or missed blocks on first down. You get put in second and 15, second and long kind of situations. And obviously, all the turnovers we had, I think we had 4. And then obviously the turnover on downs on our own 25 kind of killed us to start the game. So we had to crawl back. And, you thought kind of momentum shifted when we went back at halftime. But, they didn't quit. And congrats to them. They fought hard the whole game. So they came back and, we just got to be more disciplined.
Like you said, Benji, they had a game plan and they stuck to it, man. They took the air off the ball. They counter. I remember in 2014 we played Count City in the third round, and that was our game plan. We were not going to snap that ball until there was about 10 seconds on the clock, and our whole mission is to limit. When you're dealing with an explosive offense like Bruce have been here in the past, you want to limit their possessions. And I think they did an excellent job in making sure that we didn't get the possessions that we need to capitalize on.
They did, and they took advantage of short field a couple times, and the stats didn't lie. I mean, I see kind of they looked exactly as what the stats shown, and looking at their personnel and things, it kind of fits their mold. Like I thought they were a pretty well coached ball club.
Yes. And the play calling, I mean, they call plays at the right time. Yeah. Like what they were calling matched the situation perfectly. Like I remember the fourth down play where they hit the tight end right in and just bakes it. I remember back in the day, we used to call it just a 30 hot pass. That's what we used to call it, where you just pop up and you hit that tight end, and it was perfect. And just they made the plays when they needed to make the plays. And that's football. You got to be able to make the play when it's time to make the play. I used to always tell my receiver, Fisher, anytime I can text Fisher right now and I ask him, how many chances you get to make a play? He'll text me back, 1 chance. You get 1 chance. You got to – football is a game that you don't get second, third, fourth, and fifth chances. You have to make the play when the play is made. What would you say was the big turning point of the game tonight?
I think it's really the fumble. Townsell's fumble here. Yeah. And when we pulled him out of the game, he had a lot of carries prior to that, and I think he was just gassed at that point. But once we pulled him out of the game, the running game was completely gone at that point. Yeah. And just, Hatchett's a good player, but he's young.
Very young.
And
very light.
And he just doesn't, I don't think he's physically there, obviously, but, he's young and he's still going to make mistakes, and, that'll get corrected as he gets older. Yeah. Right. But just the running game was completely obsolete after that fumble. And, I feel like we were rushed the whole time on offense trying to pass the ball. I thought we passed it well, but we were still just kind of out of our element in that sense. And, like Benji said, they were well coached, like we came out of the second half. I thought once we scored that first play, the first drive of the second half, I thought the route may have been on, but, they were well coached, and they came back and they fought and played the whole game. And
that's what I said. I said that at halftime. I said, they gave us their best shot.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, and it's 14-14 right now. So I said, okay, they gave us their best shot. I thought they would have been fine with, okay, we haven't won a game. We got 5-1 Bruce on the ropes right now. Okay, we did a good job in that first half. Hey, I thought they were done, but man, they came out and they made obviously
They
they
weathered
did
the
what
storm.
yeah, and they but the critical one of the plays that got me is we got the big turnover and we got the touchdown, two big catches by Pooty, number 13, two big catches. He made the big catch on the sideline, and then he made the scoop catch in the end zone, and then we're just thinking this 2-point conversion. And I remember I told you, I said, we get this 2-point conversion, the game is over with. I'm afraid to go into overtime with a quarterback that's playing so good right now. Their quarterback was he getting ahead of steam, and I don't even think he was looking to throw the ball. He was just going, and I felt like, okay, boom, and even. I wanted the ball at the beginning of the half, at the end. I mean, at overtime. Remember, I told you, I said, let's get the ball, let's score, and let's put the pressure on them. So that pick was crucial. It was huge at that moment.
I thought that was a great play by the kid though, because it looked from the stands. Because I went in the half and went and sat in the stands and watched the game to get a better view. And from the stands, it looked like Pooty was wide open.
Yeah.
And the kid, just credit to him. I can't remember his number. I'd say it, but he made
7.
a great play on the ball, and it was just a great play.
I think it was a little late on the pass.
Yeah.
Because right in his break, even Coach Chase, you could hear him say, "Throw it." And when he said throw it, even the referee turned around, looked at me.
He did.
He said, "Coach, he was there. He just threw it too late."
Yeah.
The referee turned around and told me that. So what you saw was there. It was there. And it's just, but like I said, when you're on this field, you played.
Yeah.
I've coached. When you're on this field, hindsight is not 20/20.
No, it's not. And to go back, I kind of agree with you. I thought that fumble was kind of your chance to take the game over, and you didn't get to. And then Hatchett comes in. I think he's a guy, like, if you do want to look at a bright spot, I think he would help from 1,000-foot view. I'm not I'm not coaching on this team. I don't know how they view him, but I think he's a guy. If his shoulders are parallel to the line of scrimmage, and he with that head of steam,
he runs bigger than he is.
I think so. I think he struggled tonight being able to get that foot planted on the edge. Yeah. I think he's a guy, if his shoulders are parallel to the line of scrimmage and he can press, he could be a really good ball player.
I think he's got to be situational kind of a player right now, because obviously he's young. You can't be an every down back, but I think you can use him in spots where, like, you can get him the ball, like maybe like a little dump pass and he just gets vertical, or like you throw him into the flats and he can just get him in open space, get him running north and south.
Sometimes we'll forget that. We look at the talent of players. This kid was just in junior high last year.
Yeah.
He was I did junior high last year. He was my running back last year. So to go from that to, in junior high, how it is in junior high, you get around the edge, you beat everybody.
Yeah.
But in high school, everybody, they'll catch you. They'll catch you now. So, and you said he kind of reminded you of Lacey at Ole Miss. It's like he runs bigger than what he is. He's a small guy, and I think that's kind of holding him back right now, because he is a smaller guy. I'm being generous. He might be 150. Been very generous right there. But he runs, and that was one of his things I got onto him last year about. He'll have a touchdown. He wants to run somebody over. Yeah, that's just he runs bigger than his size.
I was gonna say he had a heck of a game defensively too. He came in a few times in field and laid the wood when he came down the field. I mean, I think I try to always look at the bright spots too, because there are some from this, and the fact that you got some youth that can play, I think that's big.
It's in these situations, like I said, me and you unfortunately didn't get to have a lot of these situations to where expectations, because it's different. It's different when you go into a game, kind of like East Union probably came into this game. We was in that situation a lot where we was on the East Union side, and it's just a different field than when you are expected. Yeah. When you are expected, I always go back and talk about that year, which was your junior year when I was coaching. The expectation made it so much harder. It was different when we was sneaking up on teams. It was Tyler's junior year. We start the season 0-6, and then all of a sudden we run off 8, 9, 10 straight games. Then now the expectation changes, and when that expectation changes, the pressure, man, the pressure is different. It's different. You try as a coach to try to stay even keel and try not to put too much pressure on it, but man, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult when you get in these situations like this, and I know the pain. This one hurts. Ain't no sense of lying and say it don't.
Absolutely.
One of the things, and And not to call out no player or anything, but usually in those situations, I would like to see more of, let's get to this locker room and let's get this stuff figured out. Nothing against the kids, because we're in another generation now. We came up in that time when that game is over with, you go to the locker room, you go handle it. But we're in a different generation now. I get it. I understand it. But, sometimes it got to be, okay, hey, man, we got to figure this thing out. We got to figure it out. And we got to figure it out now.
Yeah. Well, I think
no choice.
I think the biggest thing for this team is moving forward is to realize that the season's not over with,
No.
and you still got 3 or 4 more games to play, right? And you're still going to be able to make the playoffs, because I think Strayhorn's beatable, and I think you just gotta have a mentality of like, we got to play next week, and we got to win next week, and you just got to be determined enough to do that, because I mean, like me and you and Coach Clark were talking about earlier. Myrtle beat this team.
Yeah.
So you can still have a chance. If you beat Myrtle, you can get a 2-way,
And
3-way tie for a second.
we still got a shot at second, but we just made it harder on ourselves.
We're no
now
longer
it
in the
goes to
You're
driver's
not in
seat.
control of your
it goes to the
destiny now.
points. They got 6 points on us, so they're plus 6 on us. And what they do in the tiebreaker, the way they do tiebreaker, they look at every team who you play, they look at the score, and then you either gonna be a plus or a minus. So right now, Myrtle beat them pretty good, and we don't know how it'll play out with Water Valley and them, and you just don't know. And they already if they end up with 2 losses, it don't go straight head to head. They don't go that way in high school football. They don't be like, well, we're 3-2, you're 3-2, but we beat you. We get second seed. That's not how it go.
No.
They look at the points, and now with them, we are at a -6. And then when you go and look at the Water Valley game, then you got to put all them points together, and that's how the tiebreaker worked in high school, in Mississippi high school.
Yeah, and so now you have to quickly shift your focus into going and handling your business.
Yes.
Because it's like you said, the road's a lot harder. You're not really in control of your own destiny. Just win,
Just
and then
win.
and then we'll figure that situation out down
Win
the
the
road.
rest of them, and if you can still earn the second seed. But this is a critical moment. This is a critical moment for the players. This is a critical moment for the coaches, because you gotta let this game go.
Yeah.
And that's easy to say,
Yeah, a lot harder to do.
but the thing
Especially in
is,
the fashion of it.
but we've been there,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're qualified to talk about it. You have to let this game go. Look at the mistakes, fix the mistakes, let it go, win out, and then let's just see what happens.
Well, I think that's kind of how, coaching at Oxford, we had a big game against Tupelo a couple weeks ago, and unfortunately lost that game in a close game, and had a chance to win at the end, right? But we had to shift our focus to be like, hey, we still got to play the defending 6A champions in Grenada the next week, and we came back and won that game, and we had the division. But like, you can't let 1 loss or 2 losses end your season. You still got to keep playing each and every week and be determined to do that.
I'm gonna tell you, in 2014, we that was the year we had Jamar Brown. He started off the season injured. He ended up had to have surgery, so he missed like the first 4 or 5 games, and we didn't look good in those opening games. But once we got rolling there at the end, and then let's get to the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs. We had to go play a #1 Coahoma County. They were #1 in their division. We traveled all the way to Clarksdale, and we won that game. And then, which we talked about, that was the last time we had a home game for a playoff game. We played JZ George the following week in the coldest game I've ever dealt with. We won that game, and then we found ourselves in the 3rd round at Cowan City. Played well, just didn't play well enough to win, but we were that close to being in the North half. And that was from a situation that seemed to be dead. The year we won the state championship. Now, I'm not just trying to gas nobody up, but I want the players to see and understand that you still have an opportunity. If you give up now, then it's over with. Fans are gonna give up. That's why they call fans. I'll never forget, 96, we lost to Okolona at Okolona. The Trojan lost to Okolona. And I remember the guy that I was with, man, he like, man, it's over with, because back then only 2 teams made the playoffs. We thought it was over with. But what they did, they came back, they won games. We had Cowan City here, and we had to beat Cowan City by so many points. We did it, got in the playoffs. We played Cowan City in North half, beat them in overtime, played Ackerman state champion, and boom, you went from not making the playoffs to winning the state championship. So it can happen, but you gotta have a nucleus and that comes from players. Coaches always want it.
Yeah.
That got to come from players. Players got to have that mentality that, man, you know what? I don't care what went on tonight. We going to get the job done. If the players grab a hold of this moment and do something with it, man, they can change this thing.
Yeah, you got to – I think you always got to think, like, if I get in the tournament, anything can happen.
Yep.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Well, man, it look like we're the only one left here. And unfortunately, we all got to go to work or school tomorrow. So, man, it's not the way we wanted tonight. But, you know, hey, sometimes the ball don't bounce the way you want to bounce. But thanks, man. Tyler, former Bruce Trojan, current coach at Oxford High School. You know this guy. We are the Coaching Coach podcast. We appreciate you being with us tonight. And check us out tomorrow night. We're going to go live tomorrow night. Don't know what we're going to talk about, but just stay tuned. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, subscribe to our YouTube page. Make sure you go to Coaching Coach Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to it so you won't miss a live show. And also subscribe to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Go to the Coaching Coach Podcast. Subscribe. Rate us. We need your ratings. We need to see what you think about the show. Let us know what we do right and let us know what we do wrong. We can take it. Man, hey, me and Coach, I lost a lot of games. I promise you, we can take whatever you say about us. Just
I can show my face in town. You can tell us what you
let us know what's going on, man. We can take it. But from Coach Benji, Coach Tyler, Coach Marks, I guess once again, we got the Coach podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see you the next time.